Hi, welcome back. We're at 14 days now after planting our first seedlings. It's the autumn, so these are going to be overwinter seedlings. Possibly we might get radish before the winter, but for the other ones there's an expectation that we're planting them now for them to overwinter. So today, 14 days on, we're in April. It's 18 degrees at the moment in here. Yesterday's peak was 33 and last night's minimum was 9.5. Max and min temperature recording, and then to just reset that ready for the next day, we just push the button there, hold. Now that's giving the current temperature, and then over the course of the day it will record the minimums achieved and the maximums. Okay, ideal to keep one of those in your polytunnel or greenhouse, as it helps you know whether or not your plants are going to succeed, wilt in the heat, or freeze in the temperatures. So here's our seedlings at 14 days. This first tray is our spinach. They've put out their first group of true leaves, looking a bit long and straggly, so I might put those straight out into sunlight. Next to them are our radish. They've grown beautifully, developing their first group of true leaves already. Here we have wawasai, which is a Chinese cabbage. Again, they've produced their first group of true leaves. Next to those are kohlrabi. Now they're looking a bit long and stringy, so I think they're not getting enough sunlight in here. And the final group, if I can reach them, are my beetroot. And again, they're looking a bit long and straggly, so I might leave the lid off so they get more sunlight. But I might also plant those out to give them natural sunlight. So we'll see how we go. So I've got a little tray here. I'm going to take the seedlings out of their initial tray and pop them on into some biodegradable organic pots. In the bucket here I've got some organic potting compost ready to go, and then we'll make sure that everything gets watered after we've potted them in. So this first group I'm going to do is our radish. They're looking generally reasonably healthy. Now I've got a couple of little tools here just to help me so that I don't damage the plants themselves. Now they're in a tray, but they're also in a liner. And as you can see, this is clear-sided, and you can see the roots developing. So they're at the point really where they're now ready to move on. They've outgrown these little cells, time to give them a bit of space, and of course fresh nutrients. So after 2 weeks, seed compost is pretty much used up in terms of its nutrient value. So these fellas need something a bit more tasty for them to carry on developing in. Now with all potting on, we should only pick them by the leaves, never by the main stem. But before I do that, I'll just fill a couple of pots, pop a little hole in the middle. So it's just filled up, tap it down, give it a bit of compression, pop your finger in the middle. That gives the roots the opportunity to get nicely established, rather than end up with a long, straggly, stringy old plant. We want to really drop these in quite deep. I'll just do a couple for an example for you, You don't want to spend half an hour watching me doing a repetition of the same thing. There we are. Make sure there's a hole so you can drop your roots in without damaging them. I'll use this just to lever them out of the cells. Got a nice one here, looks quite healthy. There's his root, but I'm going to plant him longer than his root. So that he's not wandering and flailing around in the wind. There we are, as easy as that. Next one, this one looks pretty good. Done. And the last one here. So that's our radish. Dropped in. I'll do one more. Make sure the hole goes down as deep as you can to get the roots firmly into the pot. That's that'll look pretty good. There we go, as deep as possible. Firm him up. And that's our radish. Okay, I'll do the rest of those later, but I'll just move those aside for the moment. So we just need to water those, make sure they're given a decent drink, and then we put those back over on the side. This time obviously not under cover, so we will have to watch that we water them on a regular basis as time goes on. So at the moment I'll just put them over there. Now, kohlrabi don't really like to be moved around too much. So these ones, I've got a raised bed prepared. I'll pop these straight into a raised bed in a moment. They're looking a bit stringy, so we might not be successful with these. Similarly with our beetroot, I think I'll put those into a bed. Our Chinese cabbage, the other side, I think I can put those on. So we'll do the same with them as we did with the radish. Give each one a little pot. We will be potting on again later. This is not the pot that they're going to produce a decent sized cabbage in. This is just an intermediate for them. Give them a chance to actually get going as a small seedling. Using organic compost. I've been here at this house for just over 2 years now, nearly 3. Before the house was built, it was quarry land, so hopefully not too many chemicals. Obviously a lot of mess and rubble, And my soil shows that by the fact that everywhere you dig is nothing but stones, pebbles and more stones. It's not the ideal garden for doing any digging in, so of course, hence I don't do digging, I do raised bed gardening. So there we are, 4 pots ready for Chinese cabbage. Now these trays, slightly larger cells. These ones feel a bit heavy with the water, but generally they look okay. So I will put those on, and again we don't pick up with the stem, we'll lever him out and pick him up by the leaves. If the soil comes with the root, so be it, and if it doesn't, so be it, because we're putting it into fresh compost anyway. If you firm it down so that it's as close to the soil top as possible, you'll get a bit of a sturdier plant. This one looks pretty good. Again, you can see the soil just falls away. And the last one will do for demo purposes. Now if 2 germinate in the same pot, you can simply just take the other one at this stage and gently pull it away. You either put that one on or discard it. I think I might put that one on in a moment, but this one's got quite a nice root collection. Put it down in. And there we are. There's our Chinese cabbage, ready to go. Okay, so we'll just give those a little watering, and then they'll be ready to put over on the side